What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what we do here, man. We break down scary, creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, bro. From YouTube videos to TikToks to IG reels, anything weird, usual, and explained, you can find right here on this channel. Like I said, I can see you guys' comments over the past couple of videos. You guys said that the volume, I guess, is too low, something else. So I tweak with the levels, telling me if it's too low or if it's too high, so I can, just get the right setting for you guys, man. Found this one video for you guys today. Let's bring it out.
In the middle of cheating on my husband. What happened to me is truly shocking. My name is Tamika Hargrave, and this is my tragic story. I am 41 years old and had two beautiful daughters aged 13 and 23. My husband and I had been together for 13 wonderful years, and I loved him very much.
Long time.
However, our relationship began to become a bit stale, and that's when I met a local car mechanic. We quickly began having an affair, and I was having a great time with him. One day in July of 2018, my husband was away, so I went to see my special side thing. I went to his apartment complex, and he met me in the garage. He got in the car, and things got hot and heavy real quick. Things were going great for a few moments, but little did I know those would be the last few moments of my life. You see, when I pulled into the garage, the mechanic closed it behind me, and I never turned the car off. We both passed away from the fumes we inhaled while inside of the car. Fortunately, it was a quick and painless death, so neither of us had to suffer. Follow for more stories.
That's freaking crazy, bro. He passed away, man, because of the freaking fumes, I'm guessing, in the car when she was having that freaking fit. And imagine the freaking husband, like, having to find out that way, bro. Freaking that's probably gonna destroy their family, man. Crazy.
The woman on the plane.
We gotta escort you out.
Do not let that flight leave. We're gonna have to like that flight's not gonna make it. Back there is not.
She speaks for the first time.
Hi everyone, it's
Okay.
me, Tiffany Gomez.
Flight 1009 and the woman who went viral.
I don't care if I ever fly with y'all ever again.
We are getting reports that there is a skid mark.
He looked back at her and said, I am going to take this whole plane down.
What happened and what did she see?
I want to know what happens to this flight right here. Great. Great. I don't ever want to fly with you ever again.
Probably better known as the crazy plane lady,
What did she
which
see?
is completely warranted.
You ready?
On that flight.
If you don't leave, you'll be under arrest for criminal trespass. This is your warning right here.
As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time.
Am I leaving?
Ma'am, if you don't leave right now, you could be under arrest for criminal trespass.
Do not let that flight leave. Being dead serious. Do not let that flight leave.
Want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable.
You ready? Let's go. Come on.
That flight's not gonna make it to Orlando.
Let's
But I
go.
want to. I'm not making it to Orlando.
Well, it has been really comical for everyone, and I have highly enjoyed so many of the memes. On the flip side, it is very invasive and unkind.
100% that flight also is not making it to Orlando.
I didn't even know what she seen.
Yeah. You had your own warning. So, keep walking.
Oh yeah, until y'all see that fight blow up.
I hope that I can use this experience and do a little bit of good in the world, and that is what I intend to do. I hope that you guys can accept my apology and I can begin to move on with my life.
The viral video affected her life negatively, but through this, she's decided to make something good of it by creating a website to help stand against cyberbullying. A captivating video that intrigued the whole world now has a positive outcome.
A unicorn? Aliens,
There
bro?
has been an
I still remember that was freaking trending, man. I saw this is like some new footage I'm seeing with you guys, man. Talking about, she's talking off it, to the flight attendants and stuff about what she had seen. The thing is, she's like, that is not real, bro. So I'm just trying to figure out what did she see on that freaking plane, bro. That was the whole freaking mystery, man. And she never came out and said specifically what she seen. hey, I guess, I don't know, maybe she sensed something. She thought something was gonna go wrong with that plane. She just followed her gut, and that's what caused that freaking huge commotion. But I need to know what she has seen. Well, tell me in the comment section down below, guys. What did she see on the plane?
Absolutely horrific murder this week that was live streamed on Instagram. This case is extremely disturbing, so please be warned before watching. On Friday, 12,000 people watched a Bosnian bodybuilder kill his wife on Instagram Live. 35-year-old Nermin had been abusing his wife during their marriage, and the pair had a young child. On Friday morning, he took to Instagram Live to tell his followers that they could witness a live killing. Absolutely horrifically, he turns the camera to his ex, whose face is completely covered in blood and disfigured. He calls her a derogatory name and blames her for her own death because she reported him to police. Disturbingly, you can hear the child crying in the background. He then tells his followers that he's the child's father and his ex had hidden the toddler from him for over a week and reported him to police for DV. So, in my opinion, yes, she's taking steps to keep her and her child safe from you. After shooting his wife in the head on Instagram, he then goads his followers saying, "Someone come and save the child." A police chase then began and he went on a shooting rampage. He continued to film and tells his viewers that he's killed 2 other people who actually turned out to be an innocent man and his young son. He also wounded a police officer, another man, and a woman while on the run. He ended up unaliving himself on the same day.
Now, freaking crazy, bro. That kid sent chills down my freaking spine, man. He did the unthinkable to his freaking daughter's mom. He, like you said, you could hear it in the freaking background. This was streamed live, man. Like, and to the people who actually wanted to watch that, that's a whole nother thing in itself, man. He went on a freaking rampage, bro. Took out an innocent man as well and couldn't handle consequences, and he this shit unalived himself, man. And he did it to his son too, bro. Did it to his own blood, man. Like I said, this world, bro, it can be a truly evil and scary place, man. You never know how a person could just snap on a dime just like that, bro, because of something they did. Thoughts down below.
Emergency?
Hello.
Hello. Is everything okay?
My mommy and daddy.
Uh-huh.
I think there's a bullet on the floor.
There's a what?
And there's blood coming out of my dad's mouth, and he fell off the bed.
He did? Where's Mommy at?
I don't know. I think they're dead.
What do you mean, sweetheart?
I don't know.
Okay, your daddy's on the floor. How old are you?
I'm 5 years old, and I have a dog in the house.
Okay, baby, okay.
And
Let me get something right over to you. Did you go in your mommy and daddy's room?
and there's blood.
All over the place?
Not all over. There's blood on the plant and blood on the floor.
Oh my goodness. And you have your little doggy with you?
And 3 cats.
Well, and you got some cats too?
3 cats and 1 dog.
Okay. Are you the only one there besides Mommy and Daddy?
I said Mommy and Daddy, and they didn't even answer.
Okay. Okay, what I want you to do, honey, I want you to stay on the phone with me. What is your name? Oh, that's a very pretty name.
Actually, it's...
They had to blur that out, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is a beautiful name. What's your doggy's name?
Liza.
Okay. And what made you wake up tonight?
I think I heard a gunshot.
You heard a gun?
Yes, and I see a bullet laying on the floor. I think it's a bullet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who has a gun in the house?
I don't see a gun, but I'm scared.
Oh, sweetheart, I will not let anything happen to you.
Can you send the deputy down?
I promise I will. And you're only 5 years old?
Mm-hmm.
You are so smart for 5 years old. Wow. Are you off of school this week?
No, I go to school next year.
You do? Oh my gosh, you're not even in kindergarten yet?
No.
Oh, what's your doggy's name?
Liza. Liza.
Liza, what kind of doggy is she?
She's a lab.
Oh my God, I love those. Those are
Smart. She's trying to, ask the daughter other questions so she doesn't have to freaking witness that horrifying scene of her parents, man. It's freaking shocking how the 5-year-old's taking that all in.
they're so beautiful. Is she a black lab or is she a yellow lab?
A black lab.
Oh my, you are so smart.
With, brown eyes.
Oh my goodness, how old is she?
She is like 3 years old or 2 years old. I don't really know.
Wow. If you can remember her for a long time, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Was there anybody else in the house besides you and Mommy and Daddy tonight? Like an uncle or anything?
No, there's no robber in the house.
Okay, well I didn't think there'd be a robber, sweetheart. Did you have anybody staying over the night with you guys tonight?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You staying over the night with you guys tonight?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So and the doors are all locked and everything like that. Where are you in the house?
Well, I was in my room sleeping until I heard a noise shot and it woke me up.
Oh my goodness. What part of the house are you in at now?
I'm in the one, it's yellow, a whole yellow house, a green with it, a little bit of green, and a pink door.
Oh my goodness, that sounds really cool. Did you pick out the pink door?
No, my mom picked out the color.
Look, I think that's beautiful. Does Mommy and Daddy have a car in the driveway?
2 cars.
2 cars? What kind of cars do they have?
My mom has a Toyota.
What color is that Toyota? Is it dark or gray or silver?
It's red.
Red? Okay. What kind of car does Daddy have?
He has a Jeep. It's black and white.
Listen to me. Is your phone the kind of phone you can take with you and walk around? There should be an officer at your front door. I need for you to take your phone with you and walk over to the door and open it for me, okay? And I'm gonna stay on the phone with you, okay?
But
I will not hang up.
I'm naked.
Oh well, you want to go grab a towel or something? I don't think the officer's gonna care, baby. We just want to make sure Mommy and Daddy are okay, all right? Grab a blanket or something. Stay on the phone with me. Stay on the phone, all right?
Okay.
My name's Donna, by the way. You are doing a wonderful job. Wonderful job.
And I know what to do for safer dogs.
You did great.
I do.
You are wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. You should be very proud of yourself.
I'm to the door. I'm unlocking it.
Okay. You let me know when the officer talks to you. Okay, you go ahead. Okay, you talk to the officer.
Officer, the dispatcher? Okay, tell her I'm here now, okay? You can hang up.
Bye, sweetheart.
He's here.
Okay, sweetheart. You be good, okay? Bye-bye.
This time, what happened?
Man, bro. That 5-year-old's forever traumatized, man. You could tell she was freaking smart as work, bro. She was freaking processing information. She knew what happened to her freaking parents, man. That's witnessed that, bro. She knew where it was going on. I think she said a robber came to their house. I think the robber didn't see her. She must have saw that and she just hid in whatever bathroom she was in, bro. Operating, she had to go along with it. She tried to freaking distract her, doing her job. Freaking a great job operator, man, doing her job to make sure she didn't witness that scene, just try to take her mind off of it until the police officers came. Freaking crazy, bro. The times we live in, man. Goes to show you, man, like I said, trauma could deeply affect kids, bro, because she was like that young and she knew what was going on. She wasn't oblivious. She said, my mom and daddy, they're gone. Just need you guys' thoughts on that case down below.
And kind of was weird and sad. These are all horse bones, and a lot of them have bullet or captive bolt holes in their heads. We've been driving through the public right-of-way through this private property, and I saw from the road some big bones, and I took a picture and had to zoom in a lot before I could see that they were horse bones. So I was like, can I go get those? But of course they're in somebody's field. And I believe my friend called this land psychologically impacted. But he took me to meet the mayor, and I said, hey, do you know who lives in that old Petrie property? And like shudders, like, oh my gosh, the Petrie property. But he knows the new owner, and he said he doesn't know his name, and I said, that's okay, I just want to know, is he nice? If I go up and talk to him, will he be cool? And he said, yeah. So I go up and ask him, I say, I see your horse bones. If you don't want them anymore, if I could clean them up for you.
He'd be more than happy to let you have any bones you want out there. Yeah, I threw a whole pile of
Horse bones.
He actually said he wanted to be rid of anything that the bastard had left there. It actually took hours to get these horse skulls out of the field, and I left 2 of them and 2 cows, but I got 23.
Y'all aren't gonna believe this.
So I'm just trying to figure out how he got them scattered out all over the field. And she was, I guess, freaking nice enough to, I guess, help him clean it up. So he just left it there, man. I give her like some weird doomsday vibes or something like that, man. Just imagine you walk into a field, like she said, she spotted off the road. You just see a field full of freaking bones, bro. Horse bones, animal bones. Not too much to say on that one, bro.
Listen to what this husband says on Family Feud.
What's the biggest mistake you made at your wedding? Honey, I love you, but said I do.
Not that big of deal. Until
a Quincy man convicted of killing his estranged wife.
You realize not long after this show, he murders his wife. And it was so graphic, I can't even give you the details here on TikTok.
The couple was in the midst of a messy divorce. Her sister telling jurors that Becky feared her husband.
If something ever happens to me, please make sure the #1 person of interest is Tim.
Timothy Bleefnick was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. But one thing I want to address is many of you say that women do the same to men. Well, yes, I'm not trying to discount that. There are abusive women out there, but the numbers don't compare. Women are 5 times more likely to be murdered by their partner than men are. So to you men that have suffered from abuse, I'm sorry. I really am. But I hope that gives you a little clarity of why I focus so much on this.
I think it's really...
That's freaking crazy, bro. Like, the sounds are right there. He said that on Family Feud saying sorry, but I said I do. That's not something you can joke about. So obviously he didn't even want to marry his wife, man. And like you said, a couple of days, I guess, after that, bro, it's on the freaking news for murdering his wife, man. And she knew that would happen because she said he'd be the #1 person of interest, man. But to hear he said the details were so rough, he can't even say it on TikTok, so I'm probably going to do some research on that case and see what really happened, man. Tragic case, bro. Tragic. That's how sometimes, bro, you gotta watch for the signs, man. The signs was there in the Jeopardy show, and I mean the Family Feud show, bro.
Really freaky that people don't talk more about the connections that Epstein had in so many different worlds. So if somehow you don't know the Jeffrey Epstein story, he was arrested in 2019 and thought to be the head of a global pedophile network. And just a short while after he was arrested, he was found dead in his prison cell. Allegedly, he had taken his own life. Many people don't think that he did. And many people think that Epstein was murdered because he had so much blackmail evidence on so many politicians, actors, musicians. So let's dig a little bit deeper into all of this. So this is Shantae Davis. She's one of Epstein's accusers. She was there on so many of Epstein's trips. She alleged that he assaulted her many, many times over the years when she was underage. And she saw lots of horrific things that were going on the island, in his private planes, on these trips. Here's a photo of Shantae and Epstein, but I want to talk today about a trip to Africa that this group took. So apparently some years ago, Shantae, Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and some others took a philanthropic trip to Africa. But who was on this trip? Well, Bill Clinton was on this trip. There's photo evidence of that. I mean, here's a photo literally of Shantae massaging Bill Clinton's back while they were on this trip. Strange photo. Kevin Spacey was also on this trip. You can see Bill Clinton behind him. Here's another photo of Kevin Spacey and Ghislaine Maxwell. Kind of weird, right? Even Chris Tucker was on this trip. This is him and Shantae and some of the other women that were with Epstein and his crew. So my question is, what exactly happened in Africa? What were they doing? There are no real photos of any philanthropic event that they were attending. And for the life of me, I can't find any information about where they were going or what this big event with Hollywood celebrities and ex-presidents was. And I mean, there are just too many weird things about this. When Epstein's house was raided, they found this painting hanging up in his home. This has been confirmed. Even the artist who painted it has confirmed that Epstein purchased this from him. And people think that Epstein was killed because when he was hanging out, brushing elbows with all these elite people like ex-presidents, celebrities, other people that were super powerful, he was recording almost all the time. Shantae, who was present for a lot of this, even said that Epstein had cameras in places like the bathrooms, the toilets, the massage rooms, the living rooms. Everywhere on his property was being recorded 24/7. So I think it's very reasonable to think that with what was going on with Epstein, he would have a lot of damning photos and videos, evidence of powerful people doing terrible things. And what's one way to get him to shut up? Well, you can kill him. I don't know, I just think this story about this philanthropy trip to Africa is so strange. Why did they go? Why all these famous people? Why is there no press about anything ever happening there? And once again, why with Jeffrey Epstein?
Breaking news, a 9-year-old has been...
Asking the right questions, man. He said he knew all those famous and elitist people, bro. And when he said, like I said, the trip to Africa, but the thing is where he nailed it, he hit the nail on the head when he said there was like no photos of them going to events or doing stuff like that. So what was the trip? What was it really about? It was Bill Clinton. It's like all of them. And he just knew, like, yes, he said the elites of the elites, bro. You guys know, then I heard supposedly like he had a list that's supposed to be coming out, man. There's some people on the list we don't know, but hey, that's just something, man. We gotta keep in mind, bro. We always been hearing about how the elites are into some weird stuff. And tell me what you guys think.
Been found deceased under her bed after texting her father that she received a strange knock at the door. She had texted her father to say that she received a strange knock at the door. It was at that time he asked family members who lived in the same apartment complex to go and check on her. After doing so, they said they could not find her. Her father left work immediately. When he arrived home, he found her under the bed and not breathing. He called authorities immediately. They said her COD was asphyxiation by strangulation. In addition to that, she had blunt force head and neck trauma. Furthermore, she had also been SA'd. Authorities said there was no forced entry into the home and they do not have any suspects. Additionally, quote, at this point, the father's alibi checks out, so he is, at this point, not considered a suspect in this investigation. They added that the father and daughter had been living at the apartment for 3 months. They said they are collecting DNA from others in the complex, but getting them has been a challenge. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments. Breaking news, the woman known as, quote, Crazy Plane Lady has finally spoken out in an exclusive interview. Take a listen.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Tiffany Gomez, probably better known as the Crazy Plane Lady, which is completely warranted. As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. Distressed or not, I should have been in control of my emotions.
She was distressed?
That was not the case. My use of profanity was completely unnecessary, and I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard. Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened. We all have our bad moments, some far worse than others, and mine happened to be caught on camera for the whole world to see multiple times. Sorry, trying not to sound like Minnie Mouse. Well, it has been really comical for everyone, and I have highly enjoyed so many of the memes. On the flip side, it is very invasive and unkind, and I don't know what I would do without the love and support of my friends and family.
I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
What's the most twisted?
So we found out she said she was distressed on the plane, man. The question is still the question that everybody wants to know is what did she see for, but she won't explain or expand on what she had said she had specifically seen. So I guess the world will never know, but I need you guys to stay in that video, man, like I said before, bro.
Just a true crime story you've heard. Corey tucked her 3 young sons into their beds, then headed down to her kitchen in her luxurious home in suburban Utah. Once she got down to the kitchen, she yelled out for her husband Eric to come join her. She had some big news that she'd heard that day, and wanted to celebrate with her husband. A moment later, when Eric walked into the kitchen, Corey grinned at him and handed him his drink, gesturing for them to go upstairs to their bedroom. The two of them headed upstairs and sat down on the bed. So Corey told him the big news. Corey's small real estate firm had just found out that day that they were going to close on a 20,000 square foot mansion for $2 million. Corey had been working really hard on her real estate business for years, and this was her first big break. Totally beaming with pride, Corey sat there on the bed, clinking her husband's glass, and talked about how great their lives would become with all of this additional income. But fairly quickly, both of them decided that they were too tired to stay up and talk, so the two of them decided to go to bed. Eric had gotten his COVID shot earlier that day and had been out of it ever since. They brushed their teeth, changed clothes, and were about to go to bed when they heard their 7-year-old crying in his bedroom. Both parents let out a groan, and then Corey stood up, indicating that she was going to console their child, kissing Eric before she walked out of the room. She went down the hall into her son's room, where she got under the covers and went to bed. A few hours later, Corey suddenly sat up, inside her son's bed. For a moment, she didn't even know where she was. The house was silent, it was totally dark, and she was confused. But then she remembered she'd gotten up to help her son fall asleep. She climbed out of the bed, tucked him back in, gave him a kiss, and then she left his room. She went back into her bedroom, where she climbed into her bed. She saw that Eric had kicked off all the covers and was sleeping on his back. Corey lay down on the bed and cuddled up right against her husband. She pulled the covers up over both of them. Then she closed her eyes to go to sleep, but right as she did that, she noticed something strange. Eric's body felt freezing cold. Corey opened her eyes and sat up in bed to push Eric, but he didn't budge. When she pushed him, he felt really heavy, like dead weight. Starting to panic, she started to yell Eric's name several times, but he didn't budge. Corey leapt from the bed to grab her phone and dial 911. When the dispatcher picks up, Corey is so hysterical as she's looking at her husband lying motionless in his bed that she could barely tell the dispatcher what was going on. Finally, she got her message across and the dispatcher said, "Stay calm. The ambulance will be there as soon as possible." Moments later, Corey heard the sirens outside and cried with relief as the paramedics ran upstairs to revive her husband. Unfortunately, they saw right away that Eric was no longer with us. The first responders had no idea what killed Eric. He was in great shape. Eric was an avid runner and outdoorsman, so the idea that this guy had suddenly died was really suspicious. When they asked Corey what she thought happened, she was totally in shock. But she did say, "I don't know. I have no idea what happened to him." But the day before he did get the COVID shot, he had an adverse reaction to it. He really wanted to go to bed, which seemed odd. Corey and the first responders agreed that it was pretty far-fetched for the shot to lead to death. Eric unaliving himself was brought into the equation, but he didn't have any reason to want to harm himself. He was a very loving father who adored his sons. He coached on all of their sports teams and went on adventures with them. In addition, his business was booming, and he had just heard that night that his wife's was going to start booming as well. Eventually, the police told Corey that it was time to open up an investigation. She could barely understand what the cops were saying. Her mind was on her 3 sons that were still asleep, unaware that their dad had passed. While the family waited for autopsy results, Corey focused all her energy on her 3 boys, who were heartbroken at the loss of their father. Eric was such a hands-on father that his absence was enormous in these boys' lives. Since the kids were so little, they really couldn't grasp what happened. They asked Corey things like, "Where's Dad? When can I see him again?" These questions broke Corey's heart. She didn't have any answers for them. She tried to find a children's book that dealt with grief in the hope that it would help her sons and what they were going through. None of the books she bought helped at all. A few weeks later, while the details around Eric's mysterious death were still unknown, Corey called her sons over and told them stories about their dad. As she told them these stories, she began drawing pictures of Eric with wings and a halo, waving at the family below. It was the first time since Eric's passing that the boys connected with the fact that their father was gone. However, through the stories, they still had this meaningful connection with him. Every night Corey would tell these stories and draw these pictures. With no new information and no closure about Eric, Corey had an epiphany. She could see how powerful the stories were and how it has helped her boys cope with this loss. So, she decided to make a grief book to help other families in similar situations as her. 6 weeks after Eric had passed, Corey was backing out of her driveway when she saw a police car coming her way. It was the lead detective on Eric's case. Immediately after getting out of the car, the detective said that he had big news for her. He knew he had to tell her in person because it was going to be very upsetting. He told her that the autopsy results were in. Eric did not die of natural causes. He actually died from a substance that is very powerful and often mixed with age. Just a little bit of this substance can be lethal. It turned out that Eric had 5 times the lethal dose in his system. Corey was totally shocked by this news and told the detective that Eric doesn't use substances. It really didn't make any sense. The detective was respectful and said, "I totally understand, but these are the results. We need to find out where he got this substance from. We are going to search all of the devices in your house to see if we can find communication with whoever got the F." As she began thinking about all of their devices, she suddenly remembered that Eric's business partner Cody had taken his laptop shortly after his passing. Cody had been a thorn in the family's side for several years now. Eric and Cody had been very close friends when they started their business together 10 years back. However, they had a serious fallout 2 years before. Corey told the detective, when the men were out on an elk hunting trip, Eric had illegally shot a bull elk. Cody reported it to the game warden, causing Eric to lose his hunting license. They remained business partners, but it was clear that their relationship was totally fractured. Corey believed that Cody had more to do with the substances than he let on. The detective told Corey that he appreciated the information and was allowed to collect all of the devices. After this conversation with Corey, the investigation fell off. When they talked to Cody, they didn't find anything worth pursuing. There was nothing for the police to operate on. While the family waited for answers, Corey focused her energy on taking care of the boys and writing her grief book. A year later, the police still had no idea what happened to Eric, but the grief book was finally done. It was posted on Amazon, and right away the book was a total hit with parents of grieving children. As more 5-star reviews poured in, so did requests for her to be interviewed on TV. Corey had no idea her book would be so successful, so at first, she was terrified to appear on any shows. Eventually, she decided to say yes to all the interviews because she was very proud of what she and her kids created. She knew that Eric would be proud too. However, what Corey didn't know was there was going to be a massive unintended consequence from publishing this book. Ever since Eric passed away, the police searched every device looking for a connection to where he got the lethal substance. At some point during the search of the devices,
the story has freaking a lot of twists and turns, man. Really, bro.
The police found something very unusual. They knew it very likely had to do with Eric's passing. Unfortunately, they didn't have any evidence to prove that, so they had to sit on it. Because of the media attention from Corey's book, Eric's passing also got a lot of media attention. The unsolved nature fascinated the public and tons of tips began pouring in. The general public believed that he did not overdose on that substance. He was murdered. The alleged killer from the public's perspective was the same person that the police in Utah had become suspicious of from the unusual things they found on the devices. Shortly after getting these tips, the police in Utah finally believed they had enough evidence to go after this person, and they headed out to make an arrest. Because the case is ongoing, we don't know exactly what happened, but this is what the prosecutors think happened the night of Eric's passing. That night, Eric was upstairs when he heard Corey calling for him, telling him to come down and join her. So, he went down and greeted her in the kitchen.
Murder mystery.
Immediately, he saw his wife grinning ear to ear, and she promptly handed him a drink and said, "I have big news and we're going to celebrate." After that, the two of them headed upstairs, clinked their glasses, and took a sip from their cups. The drink that Corey made for both of them is called a Moscow Mule. It is made with ginger beer, vodka, and lime. But when Corey made Eric's drink, she added one additional ingredient, a lethal dose of F. It turned out that Corey had been stealing money from Eric's bank accounts, and he had found out. Eric also discovered that Corey had been taking out massive loans in their family's name, which he was really upset about. In fact, he was so upset with Corey that he wanted a divorce. Sensing that the divorce was imminent and the money faucet would be turned off, Corey took out a $2 million policy on Eric and then killed him. Then shortly after that, she wrote a grief book to help her sons cope and sold it for a profit. Police say that Corey had been working for weeks trying to figure out the right dose of F to give her husband. The story that she told first responders was also a lie. After she poisoned her husband, while he was laying there still on the bed slowly dying, she just got up and paced around the house for several hours. During that time, she was Googling things like how to destroy electronic evidence in luxury prisons for the rich in America. These searches were the highly unusual and suspicious things that the police saw when they first looked through the devices. As much as it made them think that Corey had something to do with Eric's passing, they didn't have enough to arrest her. However, after Corey published her book and went on a huge tour promoting it, Eric's family knew Corey had something to do with it.
Whole elaborate scheme and plan, man. They thought it was the freaking friend. They thought it was somebody else, man. But her Achilles heel, it was when she had that book. She let the fame go to her head, and that's what caught her, bro. That's crazy, man. She had to write it. She wrote a whole grief book for her sons. Sons asking where their dad at, knowing that she took them from them. But she had to freaking playing it off, acting like she didn't know what was going on. She did all that for money, man. As I said, bro, sometimes money is the freaking, that's why people be saying money is the root of all evil, bro. That freaking case had twists and turns. You would never expect how the way it was coming out in the beginning, you would never expect the wife to be the one who did it, bro. Blew my freaking mind, man. I need you guys to start sending that case down below. She's running frantically, panicked. The car was running back and forth, and I'm guessing she could sense that the car was following her. That's how she was acting like that, bro. She was aware of her surroundings. She made it home, bro. YouTube, that's it, man, for this video for you guys today, man. Like I said, tell me in the comment section down below, guys. Did you guys fix the volume, man? Like I said, I turned it up, man. Tell me if you guys want me to turn it down a little bit or turn it even more higher so we can get this audio problem out of the way, man. Thank you guys for the support of these on the videos, man. Like I said, guys, we're trying to hit 1,000, man, so let's hit that mark. Also, tell me in the comment section down below, guys, if you guys have any names you guys want to name our communities. Guys, I'm catching the next one. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.